Hello, everyone. This is Juniper coming to you live on both Facebook and Instagram. Just confirming that things are going perfect. All right. Aloha from the big island of Hawaii. My name is Juniper Reina Zarea, and it's really a delight to be here with you today. I come with a teaching to share. This is a meditation technique that comes to us from Tibetan Buddhism. And the idea is about actually removing self centeredness so that our hearts can be filled with more resiliency and more compassionate action. So rather than needing to isolate ourselves from the world because of the intensity, the immensity of what's going on a global scale, we can actually learn how to meet it, how to breathe it, how to be with it. And so in this practice, we actually breathe in pain and suffering. I'll be guiding you through it. And then we breathe out love. We breathe out blessings, prayers. So often we are taught that, right, to clear the body in these different meditations. Okay, we're breathing out this like dark, smoky energy. Oh, we're breathing in the purest of light. But in this practice, we actually recognize the alchemical power of the heart to transmute anything. And so you can pick a variety of things. It could be a big issue in the world that's near and dear to your heart. It could be something more personal that someone in your life is going through. It could be, sending loving kindness to everyone who's sick and dying, to cancer patients, different things like this. And so the options are really limitless, right? It could be the sad commercial comes on with all the animals who need help and support. And rather than feel overwhelmed, this practice is meant to meet you in the moment so that you can be this force for anchoring in more love. And it's actually a practice that some Tibetan monks go into while they're dying, is to breathe in the suffering and breathe out the blessings, the love, for anyone else who's going through the process of death and dying and maybe scared. And so it's a big up level and just how we're able to be interconnected with the whole, and not feel so much like we need to self protect and we need to isolate. Like, how can we come back into this greater awareness that we're all in this together? And this is a beautiful practice to do that with. So I realized I didn't really introduce myself. I said my name, Juniper Reina Zarea, out here on the big island of Hawaii. And yeah, I'm a healer, artist, writer, educator, and my work really consists of sacred feminine mystery teachings and the healing arts, and then where that intersects with these bigger conversations around decolonization and dismantling systems of oppression. So stick around if you're interested in more content like that. I am invested in providing the people who want to do the work on the ground and also within themselves with the tools to stay strong and clear and vital. I had my own experience as an international studies major, taking in all of these different stories that were happening around the world, genocide, sterilization campaigns, this and that historically. We could go into a big, big long rabbit hole there. But I actually collapsed at a party and needed to be put to bed because I had so much pent up energy around this. I didn't have any practices for really dissipating the energy. And then just a couple years after that, I actually had a liver biopsy because I had so much anger and rage around injustice. And so I did take a little bit of time away from more direct activist work to go on this deep decade-long journey into the healing arts. So it's with great joy that I'm able to share some of the teachings that have really landed for me. And yeah, so stick around, and I'm excited to hear how this lands for you. So I'm going to move you into the practice part, and we're going to take this nice and slow. So I invite you to come to a comfortable seated position and just allow yourself to settle in here. And by settle in, you can check that your sit bones are firmly planted and you're in a position that will allow you to sit without your legs falling asleep. It's fine to be seated in a chair. If you are seated in a chair, it's really important to make sure the bottoms of your feet are on the ground, that you have that contact and they're not just dangling. We want a sense of grounding, of connection to the earth, whether you are in a high rise or actually seated on the earth. I'm actually like in a stilted building, a little cabin, so I'm about 10 feet above the ground, but I still put my feet on the floor and really imagine myself anchoring into the earth. So as you come more into this present moment, more into your body, I invite you to become more aware of your breath as it is in this now moment without trying to change anything. Simply notice how the breath is flowing right now in this moment. I invite you to slow down the breath, and this includes the spaces between each breath in and each breath out. So imagine each inhale lengthening, lasting for a longer amount of time, creating some spaciousness before you breathe out, and then allowing the exhale to be nice and slow. And before you breathe in, just take a little space, allow yourself to rest in that space between breath, and then invite in another round, these deep, spacious breaths in and out. Keep your breaths long and slow. Begin to scan the body for any tension, any thoughts that may be present. And with love, gentleness, and curiosity, simply be the witness to these thoughts, to these sensations, your experience. We'll stay in this space of the witness, the one who is just watching but not getting too involved. And I invite you to bring into your field something specific related to suffering and pain. As I mentioned before, this might be an illness, or all of those who are grieving for lost loved ones, or maybe there's a space in the world near and dear to your heart where people are suffering. So Tonglen is giving and receiving, and in this practice, you breathe in the very real feelings of suffering into your heart, and you exhale back out of the heart with love, with kindness, with prayer. And so it can be more of an energetic feeling, like anchoring into images or voices or just the overall energy of a specific group of suffering people, and then just feeling that transmute into love and releasing it back out. Or it can be more specific. If it works for you, you can, breathe in specific pain or suffering, and then breathe out a prayer related to that. So, like if you are connecting with homeless people, you could breathe in the pain, the fear of not having safe shelter, and then breathe out the love and protection and prayer that they find safe shelter and support. And so I invite you to explore that here for the next little bit of time. And of course, I'm here to receive any questions you have in the chat later. Remain in the seat of the witness. Trust in the power of your heart. And if there's grief or sadness there, that's okay. When we really look at and sit with grief, it can be the alchemical medicine that cracks us open to more love and more interconnectedness, more reverence for all of life. And this could go on for many minutes, as many as you feel called to in your personal practice. But I invite you now to turn your palms up if they're face down, and really connect with the feeling of gratitude. Thanking God, Keakua, however you refer to Creator, for the opportunity to be in this sacred vessel, this body, and the privilege to be able to sit in meditation and peace like this and still be connected to the bigger heart, the bigger pulse of humanity. I invite you to breathe in the gratitude for that and anything else you may be grateful for, anything you're in appreciation of. Just notice where your energy is at now. And there may still be a feeling of tenderness or rawness, and that's okay. But notice that there's not any kind of like toxic sludge or anything crazy in your field. So I invite you to open your eyes and come back to the video if you feel ready for that. And just know that there may be conditioning around turning away or avoiding looking at things, or believing that you're so highly sensitive that you just need to isolate and separate. Um, but really, these are just the wounded threads of colonialism that would keep us separate from living in tribe and living in community and keeping us in isolated existences. I'm an introvert, so that's not to say don't take time to go be with yourself. Yes, definitely love my me time. But also, it's really important to find ways to be connected to the greater pulse of life. And so I thank you for your time today, for spending this time with me. And I would love to hear from you on how this landed. And you can look up the practice with different Tibetan masters who are going to teach it from a different level of embodiment than I have, which is really beautiful. And there's also a power phrase that I included in the notes with this video, and this was handed to me a couple years ago when I was having trouble processing some things and moving some things through the energy of my heart. And so, how this goes, and it's something that it's like you speak it aloud until you mean it. And so it goes: I return all non-love with love, and I alchemize all non-love with the power of my heart. So you can say it with me: I return all non-love with love, and I alchemize all non-love with the power of my heart. I return all non-love with love, and I alchemize all non-love with the power of my heart. Beautiful. Thank you for being here so much with me today. And I do support people in this capacity, creating customized solutions for you to show up more resilient and be a part of the bigger mission of planetary healing and restoring love and sacred guardianship. And so I love connection. Would love to hear from you. Sweet messages and memes. Memes are always welcome. So I wish you a blessed day, and I'll hear from you soon. Bye. Besos.